Hello guys, welcome to today's video. So today we'll be continuing our series on the customer relation management, and the today's topic of discussion is the service automation, which is a part of the operational CRM. We know how important a service is because at the end of the day, whether you are delivering a product or you're giving a service, how the product or the service is actually helping the customer so that he's satisfied on and that product or the service is providing the value to the customer. So in the operational CRM, we have seen how the customer facing processes, if we can work on that, then our customer relation management will actually be good. So how we can automate the services is one of the topic of discussion today. So SA, which is the service automation, what happens is if you talk about the customer service, what are the different points at which the customer will experience the service. So customer service can be experienced at any stage during the customer purchase life cycle, before the purchase, during the purchase, and after the purchase. So before the purchase is where the customer is actually in contact with your sales department team. He's discussing over the telephone or via email. And during his when he is doing a live call, and after purchase, once he has purchased the product or the service, then sometimes after the purchase there might be some complaints or the feedback that the passenger might be giving to you. So these are the three areas where during the customer purchase lifecycle, customer service really plays an important role. So what happens is customers also access the servicing standard during service delivery as well as afterwards. As I just said, that is after purchase. Next. So some of the academic models for measuring the service quality is the Nordic model, which identifies the three components of the service quality, which is the technical, functional, and reputational. In our previous chapter, we have discussed in detail about this service quality and the two models, which is the Nordic model and the service quality model. So coming to the service quality model, they say that service should be reliable. The service should give an assurance to the customer that it will provide the value. It should be tangible, and then empathy. We have to always emphasize with the customer. That is one of the important aspects of service quality, and the responsiveness is how we are properly responding to the customer, whether it might be complaints or a positive feedback or a negative feedback. So these five are the important components of the service quality as per the ServQ quality model. Whereas when coming to Nordic model, it speaks about the technical specifications and the function and the reputation. That is a brand of the company. Next is what are the important attributes that some companies who are actually known for providing the excellent customer service. Let us say you like Apple company because they provide excellent customer service. Then what are the things that they're actually doing, and some of the important things which they are concentrating on are they always feel that the customer service is pervasive. Pervasive means in the sense all inclusive. So at every stage of the cycle purchase, it is important, and including the customer, your management, and the customer service agent or the sales representative, everybody is a part of that. So all play a key role in providing the customer service. So that is what these companies believe in. Second is with zero defect rates or the minimal defect rates. So your product or service should have as less faults, or it should be less, or it should provide more value to the customer, and there should be zero defects. So that is what is one of the essential attribute of a service quality. And the third important thing is they always try to improve. So any company who wants to improve, then definitely they will do good in the long run. So this is also one of the attribute of these companies who are doing the excellent customer service. Then they always feel that the customer service lies at the value heart and the value proposition. So value proposition, we have discussed what are the overall benefit that the customer is getting when he's purchasing the product or the service. So this is the key. We should always try to provide a good value proposition with our product or the service. So this is what companies should believe in. And then always you have to work on improving the or building the personal relationships with the customer. And the last one is you have to employ the latest technologies so that it will allow you to interact with the customers. So these are the six attributes which the companies who are providing a good customer service are actually following. So if you want to have a good service quality, then you should always or you should set a culture in your organization or your business so that you work on these six attributes regularly so that you can improve on the service quality. Next is coming to exactly what is service automation is. Service automation is the application of the computerized technology, that is a software. So what the software will do, it will support the service staff and the sales management. Means the people who are there in the service department, it will help them in achievement of their work related objectives. So what are the essential objectives of the service staff is they have to provide a good customer experience, they have to respond to the customer, whether it might be queries or it might be complaints. So whatever task that they might be having, so if, with the help of these computerized technologies, if we can provide them with a software that can help them to achieve these objectives, is can be done with the help of the service automation. So what are the four important contexts where the service automation can be used? The four major points where the service staff comes in contact with the customer are: one is the contact centers, second is the call center at the help desk, and in the field service. We'll be discussing these one by one. So if you see, contact centers are configured to communicate with the customer's voice over the customer with the customers with the telephone, web, email, or you can communicate via SMS or a multimedia message, that is videos also. So these are basically the contact centers. They can, for a business or organization, there can be many contact centers where people can come, or these contact centers might be the hub from where the service team will be sitting, and then they will be responding to the customer over the telephone or over the internet or emails, or they can write SMS, or they can also send the videos. So this is the one aspect of some of the companies at which they are providing the services to the customers with the help of their contact centers. So these contact centers are communicating using these technologies. So if we can automate some of these, or we can make this communication with these technologies easier using some automation, then it will enhance the service quality. Next is the call centers. Call centers, we all know, where normally over the telephone or the mobile they'll be calling the customers and they'll be speaking over the phone. So these are the places where general call centers are there. So if we can automate these, like whenever the call center agent or the customer service agent, he might be having a laptop in the front of him, and with the help of the application of service automation, he can see the customer name, he can see the customer date of birth details, or the customer bank statement, or so many details he can see. If we are able to, with the help of service automation, we can give all this information to the customer agent who is trying to call to a new customer, so that he will have all the details about the customer at the touch of the fingerprint. So this is how, with the help of automation, an unknown customer agent can call to an unknown customer with having the details. The third one is the help desk. We all know help desk is the point of contact where any customer will always come with their queries, or they have any suggestions or whatever. They'll first approach the help desk or the reception kind of thing, you can say. So providing good service quality at this is essential. So help desk, if you see, they are usually associated with IT environments where assistance is offered to IT users. If you see the service automation applications, what service automation applications that can be given to these help desk people are the case management, the job management, and the service level management. So these are some of the areas in which service automation can be given to the people who are working at the help desk. Next is the field service. Sometimes, if you have purchased, let us say you are a new washing machine, then the company person will come to your house, and then he will install that washing machine at your home. Okay. So this type of service is known as a field service, where one of the person is actually coming to the field or the place of where the product or the service has to be given. So that is known as a field. And here this company engineer is coming to install this washing machine at your home. So it's providing a field service. So field service can be in the B2C as well as B2B environments. So if you see the example, service engineers are the one with like dishwashers, washing machine, brown goods and all. So these are the four areas in which the service automation can be applied. Next is there are some important terminologies that a customer relation management software will actually use. So what are those is the issue. Let us say issue can be a complaint, and every complaint will have a case. It can be categorized as a case. An incident can be, let us say, if the washing machine of the customer has gone damaged, then they will file an incident. And then a trouble ticket, it can be a trouble ticket is like if the washing machine is completely not working, then that can be a trouble ticket. And a service request can be like, okay, washing machine has been arrived at the customer's house, now you have to go and install. So there's a service request for installing the washing machine at the home. So these are some of the areas or the terminologies that a service automation software is using. And the person who is using this service automation, he should be aware of all this terminology and what are their meanings. Okay. So these terms are used to describe the customer problems that service agents are called on to fix. So service agents are being called by the customers to file this issue, case, incidents, or the service request. Next is we have discussed how these service agents, how the four places, help desk, contact centers, and all they can be helpful. So what are some of the important this software can provide some of the applications so that it will be helpful. One is the activity management. Let us say a customer service agent is like calling to a customer over the telephone. Then what he needs to know is he needs to have the details of the customer displayed on the screen. Like let us say if he's calling from a bank to get the loan, then he should know his credit history, he should know his name, he should know his bank name, and so many details he should need. So when the customer is calling on some number, then automatically the customer data should come on the screen. So this application is provided by this, can be provided by the service automation. And then he can schedule some appointment with the customer. There are so many things that, so whatever activity this agent is doing, that he should be able to log or he should be able to track. So those things can be provided with the help of the activity management tool in that application. Next terminology is the volumes received, the total number of inbound contacts across all channels. So the number of contacts you are having, that can be, the terminology is used as the volumes received. So the third one is average queuing time. Average amount of time a customer is held in a queue waiting agent response. Let us say if you remember, if you were let us say Airtel user or a BSNL user and you wanted to talk to the customer agent in 5 years back or 10 years back, if you know, then there used to be huge queue, and the telephone will always used to say, please wait, your call is on hold, and all the agents are busy. You might recollect that these statements whenever you are going to call to a customer service of either of these mobile service providers. So the amount of time that the customer is actually waiting where so as to actually directly talk to the customer agent is nothing but the queuing time. Next is the average handling time. Let us say this customer service agent is in contact with you, then how much duration he is actually talking to you, that is nothing but average handle time, AHT. Next is abandon rate. Abandon rate is the percentage of calls in which the caller hangs up before agent responds. So let us say as a customer you have given a call to the, let us say Airtel customer service, customer care. Then the ring will go. Then before the customer agent can respond to your call, you just cut the call. So you abandon that call. So such rate is the abandon rate. Next is the average speed of answer. Let us say you have given a call to the customer care, and then the moment the ring is happening, let us say within 10 seconds, if the response is coming from the customer service agent, then that speed is known as the average speed of answer. It is also sometimes known as the service level. Next is the first call resolution. Let us say you have given a call to the customer service, customer care, and then immediately he is able to provide you the answer or the resolution to your query. Then that is nothing but the first call resolution or the FCR. So everybody, all the customers will be happy if they are getting the solutions at FCR itself. That means whenever they are calling for the first time and if the issue is resolved, then the customer will feel that the customer means the service is very good of that company or that organization. So this is how all these parameters are actually useful. And if you can have a log of all these details, or you can know how much time the average time is there, how much time full time is there, queue time is there. So these, with these help of these applications, you can know all these, then you can develop the processes so that you can improve on all these things. So this is how these applications are also useful. Next is self-service issue resolution, like with the IVR, interactive voice response, and interactive web applications. Let us say you're trying to know the balance of your BSNL, then you will dial 123. Then after a week, they will ask to dial 2 and then dial 3. Once you dial 123, then finally you will get the balance where the automated voice will come that your balance is saying 100 rupees or 50 rupees or whatever. So here you wanted to know the balance, and this you are only able to get the balance with this automated response from the IVR. So this type of solution is that resolution is nothing but self-service issue resolution, where there is no need of the human intervention or the customer service agent. Next is the case management. Case management is like full activities of the activities involved from initial notification to customer to final resolution. So let us say a customer has given you a call to know, let us say to file a complaint that his washing machine is not working. So the moment he has logged that complaint, then one case is started. Then let us say in the second time also the resolution is not solved, third time not done, fourth, fifth, sixth. Let us say after six times he has called you and you are having interaction, then the sixth time the case is solved, Mrs. issue is solved. And all these activities is nothing but the incidents, and then they are associated with this case. So if with the help of case management software, you will be able to track the entire history of this incident as to what the customer faced, what happened during the first call resolution, what happened during the second time, third time, fourth time. So all these things, if the service agent is having all these details, so it will be very helpful. And then you can also work on the improving the process. So this is how having an application of case management can enhance your service quality. So this can be provided with the service automation application. Another one is the customer self-service. If you go to some of the hotels, there you have to say they will self-service. Self-service will be there. So you have to go to the counter and there you have to collect your meals. So such type of thing is the self-service where customer himself will actually take the product, where another person is not coming and giving you. Oracle, who are also the service automation service providers, they have seen that with the help of this customer self-service, they have seen the significant savings in the staffing cost, because there is no need to have a staff associated with it. So customer himself is able to get resolution of his request, or with the help of self-service only, he's happy. So in that case, you need not deploy or you need not give a job to another person. So the salary of this staffing is reduced. Self-service, like if you have a website, then customer doesn't know what all. If he has some questions, then what he will do is he will put that in a FAQs page. So which are the common questions? If you are putting in the FAQ page, then the customer will look at the FAQs, and then if at all is getting the resolution of whatever his query is, then he will be happy. So the customer himself is getting the answers to all his questions because he has just deployed a FAQs page. So this is another type of self-service that we can provide. Another one is the IVR, as I just said, in the like BSNL or the Airtel. If you want to know the balance or you want to know the data that is there in your mobile, you can just give a call, and then the interactive voice response, depending on your inputs, it will give you the data what you need. Third one is another type is the kiosk. Kiosk enables the customer to perform specific tasks such as checking at the airport. In the airport now there is a self check-in. What you need to do is you need to just type in on this. It will be like an ATM machine where you just type the PNR number, then automatically the boarding pass will come. There is no need of any human who is sitting here, and then he will issue the boarding pass. You yourself just type the PNR number and select the airline, then the boarding pass will come automatically. So these are nowadays very popular in the airports, which are known as kiosk, and the process is known as a self check-in. If you have seen in the hotels, the term checkout is used when you are vacating when you are vacating that room. It is called as checkout. Likewise, when you are entering the room, it is called check-in. So the similar terminology is used. It is understood. Next is nowadays, many companies are providing the mobile applications. With the help of that mobile app only they can do. They need not visit the website. They can just do whatever they do with the help of an app. Let us say a case of a Domino's Pizza, or you can take a Make My Trip. All of them are having a mobile applications, so they can order their pizza or they can book their flight just with the help of this mobile app which they are having. So this way, customer himself is able to, with the help of service, he is able to generate the ticket or is able to purchase the pizza. Another type of self-service is the peer-to-peer self-service, where actually what happens is a community will be there. Where let us say I'm a community member, and there are another 10 community members. Let us say I face some problem, then I got the solution. Then I file that solution in the portal. Then the other people who are having the same problem, if they have access to the portal and they see that they are also having the same problem, since I have done the solution for the problem there, so this person can get the solution himself. So this is without the intervention of company interference. The customers, with the help of the peer-to-peer service, like one person is able to help the other person in the community. So this is also one type of self-service you can provide in your business or the service. Where pre-dialing is a telephone technology. It automatically dials a group of telephone numbers. In the banks, the customer service agent, they don't know who is the next customer. The system itself is dialed to the will automatically dial the number, and then the customer details will come onto the screen. So customer agents are not dialing anymore. The system itself is dialing, and to whomever the system is calling, their profile will come on the screen. So this is a predictive dialing example. Scripting is also one way where automate the help of the help desk or the robot chats. You can give the answers automatically. Next is in the field service operations, how it can be helpful. In the field service agent, in the field service areas, there are some important terms like the first time fix rate or the mean time to resolve. Let us say in the case of a washing machine, the agent has come to your house and he was able to fix the washing machine, then it is good. That's the first time fix rate. Let us say agent has come for the first time and he has found some parts of the washing machine missing, or there are some problems in the washing machine installation. Then he was not able to install it in the first go. Then he will go to then he made another attempt. Then he was able to resolve it. So this resolution, nothing but the mean time to resolve, how much time he's taking to resolve the issue. And the thing is service level management, where the service levels are agreed. This also we have discussed in our previous video. Third is voice biometrics. With the help of voice recognition, also some of the passwords can be opened, you know, or the invoice can be printed. There are so many things that we can do with the help of voice biometrics. This is getting popular nowadays. So here, with the help of voice, you are authenticating a person's identity, just like a fingerprint, where it remembers you. Likewise, with the help of your voice, also you can authenticate. Next is web collaboration, is where using the help of online and the social media tools, you are able to provide some of the solutions to the customer problems. So these are the areas or some of the means the touch points where the service is provided to the customer, and with the help of the service automation applications, we have seen how these four areas can be improved, and the customer service quality and the service quality can be improved. So once you are having improving the service quality, then your operational CRM will eventually be good, and it will help you in the long run to acquire, retain, and then development of the customer. So if you have liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos, and thank you for watching.